Hey guys, welcome to Math Class with Miss Brown. Before we get started with today's lesson, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more fun math videos. And make sure you guys like this video and share it with your family and friends. Now let's get started with today's lesson. Okay, so in today's class, we are going to learn how to add decimals, right? So we have 5.2 plus 12.47. So the first bullet of our criteria for success at the top of the board says, make sure decimal points are lined up. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with my decimal points and line them up. So with the 5.2, I see that there's a 5 before the decimal, so I'm going to place that there. And then there's a 2 after the decimal. I'm going to go ahead and place that 2 there, okay? So then for the second number, 12.47, we have a 2 and a 1 right before it. So I'm going to go ahead and place the 2, and then I'm going to place the 1, right? And then we have 0.47, right? We have the 4 after the decimal, and then a 7 after the 4, right? And then we're going to add. So I'm just going to let you guys know that when we're adding, make sure you add with the bigger number at the top. So let's start over, right? The bigger number is 12.47, right? There's nothing wrong with how we set it up before, but just get in the habit of placing the larger number at the top, right? It's going to make more sense, right? And make your work look more organized. So I'm going to line my decimals up again. We have the 12 before the decimal and then the 47 right after the decimal, right? And now we're going to do the 5.2. We have our decimal, right? And now 5 right before it. I'm going to put my 5, line it up with the 2. And then the 2 after the decimal, I'm going to line it up with the 4, right? So now we are going to add, okay? Oh, so we can't see the addition symbol. That's okay. Long as you guys know it's there, right? We have 12.47, and I'm going to show you guys what it should not look like. Plus 5.2. Look at your decimal points, right? Are they lined up? You have a decimal point there and then 1 all the way at the side, right? No, they are not lined up. So that's not how you're supposed to line up your numbers, right? Your numbers are supposed to be lined up by place digit. We have the ones place, the tens place, right? Our decimal points, and then the tenths place, and then the hundredths place. If you want to learn more about place value with decimals, I do have a video up, and you guys can go watch that to have a better understanding of place value with decimals, okay? So just make sure your digits are lined up by place value and make sure your decimal points are lined up as well, right? So sometimes we might have, let's finish writing hundredths. Okay. All right, cool. So sometimes we might have some spaces, right? So you can just go ahead and add a 0 there, or you can just leave it blank, right? So we have 7 plus nothing, which is 7. 4 plus 2, which is 6. Bring our decimal point down. 2 plus 5, which is 7. 1 plus nothing, which is 1. So our final answer is 17.67, right? That was so easy. Let's try another one. Okay, so we have 34.6 plus 0.529, right? So we're going to add these two numbers, and I'm going to start out by writing 34.6, okay? And then I'm going to add that with 0.59. So I should not be doing it like this. See how I just put the 0.59? No, no way, big no. Right? Nope. The decimals are not lined up. And that is the number one rule. The decimals should be going in one straight line from top to bottom. They should not be like this. No. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. And then I'm going to set it up more accurately. Okay? So I'm going to start with my decimal points, right? That's going to ensure that my decimal points are lined up. Yes, they are lined up. So before the decimal point, I have a 4 and then a 3 right before the 4. And then I have a 6 after the decimal point, okay? So now I'm done with that number. So now I'm going to take 0.5529. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 5 right after the decimal point, the 2, and then a 9, okay? And it looks kind of weird the way that it's set up, but it is not. Just make sure those decimal points are lined up and the numbers are lined up by place value. And whenever you have empty spaces, you can just go ahead and put a 0 there, or you can just leave it blank. It doesn't matter. Okay? So we're just going to put the zeros here just so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about, okay? So we have 0 plus 9, which is 9, 2 plus 0, 0 plus 2, which is 2, 6 plus 5, which is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 4, which is 5. I brought my decimal point down. And then 3 plus 0, which is 3, okay? So my final answer is 35.129, okay? All right, yeah, 35.129. So, okay, we have 547.29 plus 4.86, right? Remember, number one rule is to make sure the decimals are lined up. But before we get started, I want you guys to pause this video, get a paper and pencil, try this on your own, and when you're done, we'll come back together. Okay, you guys should be done. So remember, make sure your decimal points are lined up. So I'm just going to go ahead and start my decimal points, right? That should be the first thing you guys do to make sure that you are on the right track. So right before that decimal point, I have a 7. Before the 7, I have a 4. And before the 4, I have a 5. Right after the decimal point, I have a 2. Right after the 2, I have a 9. Right? So I'm done with that number, right? So now I'm going to start right before my decimal point for the second number, which is a 4. Don't just put the 4 anywhere. Make sure it is lined up by place value. The first place value before the decimal is the ones place. So I'm going to make sure I line it up. Ones, tens, and hundreds, okay? Make sure it is lined up. That is very important. Don't think that you can just put the numbers anywhere and you can just get an answer. No, 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 no. Make sure they are lined up, okay? Please follow it. Lined up. That's key. That's very important. So we have 9 plus 6, which is 15, right? So I'm going to put the 5 down here, carry the 1. So 2 plus 8, which is 10. 10 plus the 1, which is 11. Put the 1 down, carry the 1, okay? So 7 plus 4, which is 11, plus the 1, which is 12. Put the 2, carry the 1. 1 plus 4, which is 5, and then 5 plus nothing, which is 5. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I bring that decimal down, and my final answer is 552 and 15, right? There you go, guys. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson. You guys did amazing. Remember, it's going to take more practice. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video with your classmates and your family and friends if they need help in math. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Miss Brown _the_ math _teacher, and on TikTok at Miss Brown the math teacher. I'll see you guys in the next class. Bye.